In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to check the SEO score of a YouTube video. We're going to talk about how you can know if your video is optimized for YouTube search. We're going to contrast different ways that you can check the ranking of your video. You're even going to learn how to check your competitor's SEO score. Let's dive right in. Having a way to score your efforts on YouTube is very important because in the past with website SEO, we would do so much work, so much time, so much investment, and we never really knew if it was getting us results. The great news is about YouTube, there is a way that you can track and you can see in minute detail if your efforts are working. How to know if my video is optimized for YouTube search. The easiest way to know if your video is optimized for YouTube search is to go to YouTube and type in what you're hoping it will rank for and checking to see if it'll rank at the top. Okay, if you don't see it at the top, scroll down and see if you find it in the top 20. So that's the first place that you can look. There's a lot of tools out there like TubeBuddy or vidIQ that will give you a score, and oftentimes those scores aren't very helpful because I'll have a video that will be ranking at the very top of YouTube for that search, and yet I have a score of 32 out of 100. How can I check the ranking of my video for specific keywords? The mistake that most people make when they want to rank for specific keywords is to go after phrases that are too short and too competitive. But there's an easy way to start getting traction for those keywords, okay? So stick with me. I really want to rank for the phrase YouTube SEO, but that's 2 words long. It's very, very competitive. The phrase that I found is, what is a good SEO score YouTube? So I made a video with that title. Instead of just going after YouTube SEO, I used the exact question that people are searching for. Now I actually found hundreds of different specific questions like this, and I'm systematically going through and making videos on each one of those. So instead of just going after YouTube SEO, I'm being way more strategic and going after questions that people are searching about YouTube SEO that are long, specific questions. The more of these that I go after, the more start to rank on YouTube. I'll go to YouTube, I'll paste that question into the search bar, and I'll see if I have a video that ranks at the top for that question. Then I'll type in the next question and see if I have a video that ranks for the top of that one. If you do this for about 4 months, consistently focusing on what I call a branch, okay, you consistently focus on a branch, creating all the leaf topics for that branch, you'll start to dominate that branch. Are there free tools for checking a video's SEO performance? There are free tools and there's paid versions of these tools as well. There's TubeBuddy, there's vidIQ, there's other things like Answer the Public, but I actually don't recommend any of them and their SEO scores. Their SEO scores are not helpful. What I do, I actually track it in my own Google spreadsheet. So this is the keyword research I've done for one of my clients. You'll notice all of these questions are about ghostwriting, and then every column here from May 3rd to June 5th to August 7th to September 18th. Notice how we started with a whole bunch of no's. I give a yes a score of 1. And I give a starting a score of 0.25. Starting means you have to scroll down, but you find his channel or his video ranking in the top 20. And then no means that he doesn't show up. And so that's a score of 0. So in total, we had a score of 0.25 in May. By June, we had a score of 2.25 because we had some yeses. By August, we had a score of 7.25, same in September. By October, a score of 8, and by November, we went up to a score of 12.5. So it takes some effort, but this is actually what I do. There's no tool that works better than what you can track if you do this. Can I check my competitors' SEO scores on YouTube? Now, prior to me using a spreadsheet like this, there wasn't really a good way that I could check my competitors' SEO scores. I mean, I could type in their videos in different tools, but it didn't really give me a lot of helpful data. I didn't really know how well they were doing or not. I just had to guess. But if I created a spreadsheet or even a separate column for a competitor, you can go through and do all the same search results and you can see, well, do they rank for this question? What about this question? What about this question? So when you group things together like this, you can look at a branch, you can see what your score is, and then you can look at the score for a competitor and see if they're ranking for more questions than you or less. Typically on a whole branch, they're only going to rank for a few of them. So the more questions you cover on a branch, the more likely you are to dominate that entire branch. What are good SEO scores to aim for on YouTube? Well, when I'm looking at a branch, I like to find deep branches. So not a branch that just has 5 questions or 5 leaves on it. I'm looking for a branch that has like 30 leaves on it. And so a good score would be, 25 out of 30 or 30 out of 30. Now, when you look at a branch, let's say it has 30 different leaves on it, 30 different specific questions like this, and you look through and you're like, there's about 5 on here that I like. 5 questions that I could answer, 5 that really show that they're my target audience. The other 25 though, I don't think I want to film those, that they're not really relevant. Mark that branch or mark this group of questions as questions that you should not answer, because you want to go after branches that you want to dominate. And to dominate, you're going to need to answer the majority of the questions on that branch. So when you say, what should I shoot for? What type of score do I want? You want progressively over time to turn those no's into yeses, and you want to have like a 20 out of 30 or a 25 out of 30. How often should I check my video's SEO performance? I typically check every month. So you can see here from May 3rd to June 5th, we skipped July, we went to August and September, October, November. That's been my experience. For my own channel, sometimes I check every couple of weeks just because I want to see. And I'll do that for a specific branch that I've been focusing on at that time. But for all the 50 plus channels that I produce, we're going in and checking every single month. I really want you to get these same results, and I want you to understand my leaf strategy. This is the strategy that I use to get these results. And there's 5 ingredients. I'll teach you my tree analogy. So I've made a whole other video. I'll link to it on the screen here. It's called YouTube SEO, the leaf strategy. Go watch that video next.